I live in Nashville, so it's SEC country, Ole Miss, Tennessee, obviously Vandy's here, Alabama, Florida. Everybody, all they talk about is SEC, and the SEC had a bunch of close games against people they weren't supposed to have close games with. Obviously, got a bunch of friends with the Ole Miss. They almost lost to Washington State. So I'm like, wow, you guys are playing close games with Washington State, and I was like, y'all see what the Iowa boys did? Belt to ass. That's how we win in the Big Ten. Yeah, that's how we get down over here.
The chip on your shoulder just grows and grows and grows as the week goes on. So I'm sure he wanted to punt the ball out of the stadium when he picked that off and had a pick six and do all types of whatever to get 15-yard penalty. I'm sure that was probably the calmest he could possibly be. I put it on record. I tell people all the time, well, they were like, what do you really think of Jay Love? And I'm like, he's a dog. And y'all are going to see it. And I promise you're going to be like, Dom, you told me so. And I've been back home to Iowa, and people be like, you were absolutely right. I'm like, yeah, I tried to tell you, like, he showed things in practice that not only was he a sponge, but he had the athletic ability, the arm ability. And, of course, when you're learning from one of the best quarterbacks to ever touch a football, you're going to – some of that's going to rub off on you.
Yeah, when they get down in the red area like this, a lot of times they like to go wildcat with Faison and just let him just punch it in there. He's 6'2", 250. You know who else is 6'2", 250? Me. So that would be like me doing that. So, yeah, here we go. And they lined up in wildcat, and obviously just going to let him make a play for him.
Yeah, tried to go in with a little bit of RPO, and I mean the high ball going across the middle is not the best.
The medicine ball you don't like, right?
Yeah, it's not always the most fun thing. You got to jog back to the huddle like, my guy, please don't do that again.
You remember your senior night?
No.
No?
I was about to lie and say I absolutely do not.
I do, because it was the last night I played football.
Oh, yeah, he's an athlete. And I talked to the coaches about him, too, and they were telling me a story about how he just jumped 6 feet, 6'7", just because. He's seen somebody else do it, and he was like, I think I could do that. So he's definitely an athletic kid. I can hear my receiver coach screaming, saying, use two hands, because he had it.
Yeah.
He had it and got behind the defense. Just you got to use two hands, and that one hurt. That hurt me. I'm not gonna lie. As a pass receiver, yeah, McGregory did a good job at the top of his route. Realized it was a scramble drill, and that's honestly next level right there. Looking at what he did, pushes up to sell like he was going up vertical, then snaps it back down really fast, and gets a nice toe tap grab on the sideline. They're letting Faison stand up and kind of do a little Myles Garrett thing, and let him play and be an athlete essentially. And he sniffed that one out, immediately triggered as he saw DeGroat try to get outside and get on the perimeter, and made a big hit there on the quarterback.